are getting out and running early.
It'll be Minnesota basketball out of the timeout. Mike Conley back in the lineup after an injury. Gets it across the timeline. He's on the high left side. Top of the key over to Towns. High pick from Gobert. Towns in the paint to Rudy. Poked away and stolen by Jamal Murray. Murray has it across the timeline. Defense is back this time for Minnesota. High right side over to Aaron Gordon. Gordon dribble, handoff, faked it to KCP. Instead gets it over to Joker. Jokic is on the wing. He gets to go to the baseline. Working against Cat. Starts backing him down to the restricted area. Hook shot. No good. Too strong. Rebound down to Edwards. Edwards has it at the point. Guarded by Aaron Gordon. Throws it off over to Towns inside the arc. Guarded by Jamal Murray. Denver switches that play. Now Gordon is on Towns. Throws it off to McDaniels for three. Jumper good.
Well, mix-up defensively, they were all messed up. He had started that series with Jamal on Towns.
Here comes Jamal Murray, who played 4 minutes here in the first quarter. Murray has it at the point, loses it. It's a breakaway, Edwards. Dunk, two-hand.
Porter brought his man right over to Jamal Murray, and Jamal just got caught.
Good run here from Minnesota out of the timeout. Denver lead down to 2. High left side is Nikola Jokic. Jokic gets a high pick from Gordon, moves off of that. He straddles the three-point line, step back three, won't go. Rebound down to Gobert. Conley out in the pass off over to Edwards. Edwards has it up the right sideline. He's got Towns out there with him. Behind the big bounce pass over to Towns. Towns, little floater, alley-oop, layup won't go by Gobert. Rebound Towns, putback won't go. Rebound tipped out by Jokic to McDaniels, layup good.
3 offensive rebounds, a little shove in the back. Denver didn't come out of that timeout right.
Here comes Jamal Murray the other way for the Nuggets. We're all tied up at 9 points apiece. Between the rings is Murray. He'll take a three. Rims out. Rebound down to Gobert. Outlet pass off over to Conley. Conley, left side Towns. Head fake on the three. Gets down the lane. Dunk right-handed.
Aaron Gordon just let him go, kind of challenged the three, but then zero help.
9-0 run from Minnesota out of the timeout, has them back in the lead by 2. Jokic has it at the point, gets a high pick from Gordon. He gets down the lane on Gobert, spin move, layup won't go, travel on Jokic.
They let Rudy bump him, knocked him off his feet a little bit, but then called the travel. So again, Denver not getting any whistles, but you knew that was going to be the case. Got to play through it.
Here comes Anthony Edwards the other way. Minnesota looking for an 11-0 run. Edwards has it between the rings. He goes to the right hand. Working against KCP. Crowd back into it now here in Minneapolis. Top of the key is Conley. Conley left side McDaniels. In the corner to Towns. 5 on the clock against Murray. Knocks it out of his hands and out of bounds. 3.9 left on the shot clock here for Minnesota.
Good scramble defense right there.
And this will be from the corner, not an easy place to inbound the basketball from. Obviously going to have to be quick here for Minnesota. Conley looks in, throws it in over to McDaniels, back over to Conley. Blocked by Gordon, he gets the basketball. Good defensive play there by Aaron Gordon. Outlet pass off over to KCP. Down, he throws it in the low block to Jokic, guarded by Gobert. Throws back out of it. Top of the key is Porter. Catch and go to the nail. Back down low. His pass is deflected and stolen. Edwards the other way. Coast to coast. Leans in. Layup blocked by Gordon. Foul called on Denver. And that'll be Anthony Edwards to the free throw line.
Number 3 getting involved. Good block, it looked like, by Aaron. Would have been a tip dunk by Rudy anyway.
Timeout called by Denver. Nuggets down by 2 on the Altitude Radio Network.
It's a huge show tomorrow for Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
Without the written consent of the Nuggets or the NBA. When the game is on the line, go to BurgSimpson.com. That's BURGSimpson.com. Good lawyers, changing lives. Free throws coming up here for Anthony Edwards. First one's on the way, and that one is up and in. What's Minnesota all of a sudden doing better now, Scott?
Well, how about this? They're 4-7 shooting. Denver goes 0 for 3 and had 3 turnovers since in between the 2 timeouts.
Right.
So really a little bit of self-inflicted by Denver, and then Denver not making shots.
Second free throw for Edwards is up and in, and the Nuggets now trail 13-9. Here comes Joker. We're over halfway home in the first quarter. Top of the key is Murray. Throws it off on the left side over to KCP. Guarded by Conley. Back out on top over to Jokic. Hands off behind him to Murray. Turns the corner with the right hand. Picked up by Towns. 5 on the shot clock. Murray, tough 2. Off the back of the rim and no good. Rebound down to Gobert.
Murray 0 for 4.
Outlet pass off over to Mike Conley. Minnesota looking to tack onto their big lead of the game. Conley has it at the point. Top of the key over to Gobert. Back over to Conley. He throws right side to Edwards. Flip back over to Conley. Split the defenders with the dribble. He's at the nail. Jump shot. No good. Oh, it is.
Rolled, and stayed in. 13-0 run by Minnesota.
6-point lead. They're big tonight. Here comes Porter in the paint. Throws it off on the left side to Gordon. Back out over to Jokic for 3. No good. Rebound down to Gobert. Outlet pass off over to Conley. Conley has it up the left sideline. He gets a pick from Gobert. Throws it to Rudy on the pick and roll. Cross-court pass, Edwards. And a 3. Nope. Throws out of it to Towns for 3. That one's no good. Rebound tipped by Edwards. Tipped by Towns. Conley back to Edwards for 3. Yes.
16-0 run.
18-9. Jokic has it at the point. Right side to Gordon for 3. That one's no good. Rebound down to Towns. Back the other way comes Edwards. Edwards, top of the key. Towns, head fake and a drive. Gets down the lane. Alley-oop, Gobert, dunk, 2-hand.
Got away with the travel. 18-0 run. Denver 0 for 6 since that first time out.
Nuggets are down by 11 after leading by 7. Top of the key is Jamal Murray. Murray throws it off over to Jokic inside the arc, guarded by Towns. He puts it on the floor, gets double teamed. Cross-court pass, Porter, and a 3. No good. Rebound down to Towns. Outlet pass off over to Edwards. Edwards gets a high pick from Gobert. He gets down to the wing. He's working against KCP. Backs him down. Knocked out of his hands and a foul on KCP.
Denver just getting out of play. You got guys shooting shots on one end, almost look nervous and say, excuse me, to shoot them. And Minnesota now free with this run. That's 18-0, about to become 20-0, right?
Yep.
He makes 2 free throws.
Edwards, game 5 against Denver, 18 points on 5 of 15 shooting. Free throw number 1 for him is up and in.
Again, and we saw this in one of the early games when Denver lost. I think Joker trying to get a spark going, already 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. Don't need him just sitting out shooting free throws, do they?
Well, I mean, here's my take on this. Obviously, Minnesota right now has the momentum. They're having one really good stretch of this basketball game. Are you nervous? Are you worried at all?
Not yet.
I know, I'm not either. Second free throw good. Nuggets are down by 13. Here comes Aaron Gordon. Dribble handoff KCP. Top of the key is Jamal Murray. Bounce pass right side is Jokic. Back behind him over to Casey. Through the window, he gets it to Jokic. 12-footer. Jumper's good. 22-11.
20-2 run. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Better early than late.
100% true. High right side is Anthony Edwards. Christian Brown up and off the bench for Denver. Edwards down the lane. Bank shot good.
He was begging for a call. That was a heck of a shot. I don't know how he made that.
Here comes Gordon, dribbled off of his foot and turned it over. Naz Reid, McDaniels gone.
Yeah. Gordon trying to dribble too much, just dribbles off of the foot, and then the breakout, and Michael just stands and watches McDaniels just run by him for the dunk.
Denver down 15, timeout Malone on the Altitude Radio Network.
Texting privacy policy.
Back the other way comes Jamal Murray. Katie was in the timeout huddle. Malone talking about turnovers that are helping fuel the Minnesota break here, and he's right on that. Denver basketball. Jokic hands it off over to Jamal Murray. Spin move at the dotted line. Jumper blocked.
Bad shot.
Here comes Anthony Edwards the other way. 3. Good! Denver down 18.
27-2 run.
Jokic has it on the high left side. He's at the wing, guarded by Cat. Throws out of it over to Christian. Right side Murray. Now a corner 3 by Casey. Jumper's nothing but net. And that'll get the lead back down to 15 points, 29-14.
You got to win the last 2 minutes, guys. I think that's a big key here.
Here comes Alexander Walker, checked in during the timeout, guarded by Justin Holiday. Throws it off over to Towns at the mid-post. Tried to walk through the defenders. Can't. Jumper good. He did travel.
Traveled again. Let him do it. Number 2 said it's okay.
Here comes Jokic back the other way here for Denver. He just gets shoved by Towns, and that'll be a foul on him. Reggie Jackson comes into the game now for Denver. KCP looks in. Throws it in off over to Reggie. Reggie brings it back out to the point. High pick from Jokic. Reggie moves off of that, leans in. Layup is off the window and no good. Rebound. Almost out of bounds. Did Towns catch that? He just established himself in time. Three-pointer Edwards won't go. Rebound down to Holiday. Outlet pass bobbled. He gets it back. Throws out of it now over to Reggie. Reggie has it across the timeline. He's inside the arc against Naz Reid. Throws it off over to Joker. Back over to Reggie. Reggie guarded by Reed. Bounce pass inside the arc over to Nikola Jokic. He goes to the right hand. Throws out of it. KC3. Missed it long. Rebound down to Towns.
Denver shooting 30 from the 2 and 22 from 3.
Edwards has it at the point. Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. He's working against Holiday. He backs him up to the bottom part of the midcourt circle. Throws out of it to Naz Reid for 3. Jumper won't go. Rebound comes down to Pope. Outlet pass off Jokic. Front court Holiday. Catch and go. Blocked at the rim by Jaden McDaniels. Front court is Alexander Walker 3. That one won't go. Rebound comes down to Christian Brown. Brown gets the outlet pass off behind him over to KCP. Back over to Christian on the high left side. Entry pass into Jokic. Hook shot on Towns won't go. Tipped his own miss. Missed that. Rebound down to Naz Reid. Outlet pass off over to Edwards. Shot clock is turned off and Minnesota will go for 1. I think the Nuggets have a foul to give here. 5 seconds. Edwards has it on the high left side. Cross-court pass over to McDaniels. Back to Edwards. Got to shoot it. Never got the shot off. Good defense there by Denver to close out the first quarter, but the Nuggets are down by 17 points after 1 on the Altitude Radio Network.
Hey Nuggets fans, did you know that nearly 75% of all aluminum ever produced?
Good, 35-21, 14-point lead for Minnesota.
Get this thing to single digits. Got a lot of time. 9 minutes. Cut another 7 or 8 off this lead.
Especially in non-Jokic minutes, that would be helpful.
They start making some shots and you'll do that.
Murray has it. High right side. Slip pick by Aaron Gordon. Murray puts it on the floor. Throws out of it over to Christian. Brown, hesitation drive. Spin move on Reed. Kick out 3, Gordon. That one's good. Big bucket there. Nuggets now within 11, 35-24. And here comes Mike Conley. Conley has it across the timeline. Dribble handoff over to Walker. Top of the key, it's Kyle Anderson. Anderson's inside the arc, right side. Throws it back off over to Walker. Now Gobert.
Oh, gee.
Touch foul on Michael Porter Jr. Just a little
shove. He's got his forearm in the back of Gobert. Somewhere, if you watch Joker, he said, okay, if that's a foul, then let's keep it going. That's fine.
Anthony Edwards going to come back in for Minnesota. And here we go. Inbound goes to Naz Reid inside the arc. Hands it off behind him over to Conley. Conley goes to the right hand. High pick by Gobert. Left side now it's Edwards, guarded by Christian Brown. He goes to the left hand. Tough, too. Late whistle, foul called on Denver.
That was, if it goes in, maybe we'll give you the basket, but we're not going to call foul. They don't. Terrible shot.
Ooh, that's a tough whistle there.
I'm not sure who they'd call that on.
Christian.
Well, Christian had his hand on him early. Boy, that was a late whistle by number 1.
Anthony Edwards' first free throw form is on the way. That one's up and in. 9 free throws. This will be the 10th free throw coming up for Minnesota. Denver's taken 1.
And that was Joker's hand one, and he just kind of threw it up there a while ago.
Second free throw's on the way. That one's up and in as well for Anthony Edwards. They chant MVP when he's at the free throw line, but don't they know that that award has already been handed out?
I don't think so.
High left side is Christian Brown. Top of the key is Jamal Murray. Murray goes to the left hand against Edwards, throws it off over to Gordon, gets down the lane on Gobert, and peels away. Now he attacks again. Step back, fade away. Air ball.
Terrible shot.
Rebound down to Naz Reid. Outlet pass off over to Kyle Anderson. Anderson goes to the right hand, throws off over to Reid. Euro step in the paint, jumper no good, got his own board, put it back up and in.
See, they're getting mismatches, and then they're just going downhill on smaller guys. Reid on Jamal there.
Christian Brown driving a dish behind him over to Gordon and a three. Missed it too strong. Rebound down to Naz Reid. Boy, only 24 points for Denver so far. We've almost played 5 minutes in the second quarter. Edwards, crossover move to the baseline. Throws out of it. On top to Reid. Left side Conley. Corner Anderson. Anderson back out on top over to Reid. Catch and go on Gordon. Layup is no good. Foul called against Denver. They're going to call goaltending.
You can take it to the glass. You can't take it off the glass. That may have just barely got to the glass.
Denver basketball coming back the other way. Here comes Jamal Murray. Nuggets are down by 17 points. Murray has it across the timeline. Gets a high pick from Gordon. Moves off of that. Goes baseline. Leans in. Layup no good. Rebound down to Gobert. Outlet pass off over to Anthony Edwards. Bucket here. You may have to burn a timeout. Edwards has it at the logo on the high right side. Bounce pass off over to Naz Reid. Guarded by Murray in a post up. Backs him down to the paint. Turnaround jumper. Good.
He's just too big. He's too big, and he's got the way they're playing this defense. Naz Reid just too big for Jamal Murray.
Timeout Malone. Nuggets are down by 19 on the Altitude Radio Network.
Looking for some fun
And many other great benefits. Also, Nuggets basketball is brought to you by Central City. Take I-70 to exit 243 and the Central City Casino Parkway, your 4 lanes to fun. Well, Minnesota used a 29-5 run here in the first half. That is what built them their 19-point lead. Denver basketball out of the timeout. Jokic has it inside the arc. Hands off behind him to Murray for 3. That one's no good.
My gosh. They're missing so many open shots now.
Edwards has it the other way. I mean, obviously a lot of time to go, but Denver at some point has got to get this thing dialed in.
Dude, they're shooting 17% for 3.
They're not going to get it done. Edwards sidestep 3. Good.
And everything they're throwing up, even though there's 29%, Edwards is making anything he throws up 3 of 5 from 3.
22-point lead now for Minnesota. KCP hands it off over to Jamal Murray. Gets a high pick from Jokic, goes the other way.
Wow.
Gets another pick from Jokic. Goes to the right hand, spin move in the paint, finger roll layup won't go.
Murray now 1 of 9.
Rebound,
1 of 10.
Rebound down to Naz Reid. Outlet pass off over to Anthony Edwards. Down low, Anderson. Kick out Reid. Left side, Towns and the 3. Too strong. Got his own board. Throws it off in the corner. Bad pass, and Kyle Anderson threw it away.
But Denver just 3 of 17 shooting from the 3-point line. Anthony Edwards caused 3 of 5 himself.
Well, that's one thing, Scotty, but shooting 27% overall from the floor is not going to get it done. Here comes, but again, plenty of time to go. You just got to figure this thing out here. Reggie Jackson has it over to Porter, loses it from behind. Another reach around. Naz Reid has it. Right side, catch and go Anderson. Floater, bank no good. Tip, Towns won't go. Got his own board, put it back up and in.
When Michael's trying to block him out, he just pushes him to the side and gets 2 tip-ins.
Denver down by 24. Nervous yet? Jokic over to Porter. Throws it left side. Reggie in a 3. That one's no good. Rebound down to Naz Reid.
Well, they've made some, so they can't get down to 0%.
Edwards has it at the point. Guarded out there by KCP. Denver switches the pick and roll. They jump Edwards, get the ball out of his hands. Reid in the corner. Towns 3. No good. Rebound tipped in the eye or grabbed by Key over to Jokic, back over to Murray. Turnover, Denver. Here comes Minnesota back the other way. 86-61 is the score here to begin the fourth quarter. Conley has it inside the arc over to Reed. Gets down the lane, fouled by Jokic on his way to the rim. Scotty, at what point do you just wave the white flag here? And I know you have an entire quarter to go, but when do you just bring Jokic and Murray and Gordon and Porter out?
Well, I think I'd probably get Joker out sooner rather than later. And I would try to play DJ or somebody like that just to get him some run, some size in there and see if, maybe there's a usage for Game 7. Game 7, both teams are in win or go home mode on Sunday, I believe it is.
That's actually not a bad call.
Yeah.
Play DeAndre Jordan. Maybe you find something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Porter, you probably keep it out there just see if anything can spark. I mean, he's had 3 straight really tough games.
Here comes Jamal Murray. Murray has it inside the arc. Hook pass behind him. Jokic over to Christian. Gets down the lane. Dunk hard!
Ooh.
Right-handed tomahawk.
That was on Edwards.
Sheesh!
Ooh, that was on Edwards.
Man, I was just about ready to fall asleep, and then Christian Brown brought me back in this thing.
That was on Edwards.
Here comes Edwards. He's on the high left side. Gets a pick from Gobert. Yeah, that was fantastic. 3-pointer. Good. Then there's that.
He's a good front runner, offensive player, and no pressure on him to shoot or anything else. So give him a little space.
High left side is Nikola Jokic. Jokic picks up the dribble, hands it off behind him over to Murray. Fakes a pass, puts it on the floor. He's at the mid-post now in the paint. Head fake, throws out of it. Christian now fighting the clock. Long two. No good. Rebound down to Edwards.
That's 4 guys standing out watching Murray dribble it until 4 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Edwards has it inside the arc. Peels off to the high right side. Working now against Reggie Jackson. It's an ISO. He goes to the right hand. Jumper. Bank no good. Rebound down to Michael Porter Jr. Mike has the outlet pass off over to Jamal Murray. Murray, top of the key, back over to Porter. Porter, tough 3. Short, no good. Rebound down to Gobert. Outlet pass off over to Conley. Conley has it up the left sideline against Christian Brown. Gets a high pick there from Gobert. Throws it in the paint. Rudy, layup, good.
Now the rotation is MPJ to get over to catch that. He was late till after Rudy got it and laid it up.
Yeah, bro, that's a wrap. Nuggets are down by 30, and we have played a little bit more than 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. We'll find out who's on the floor for Denver when we come back in a moment on the Altitude Radio Network. You can find something. Peyton Watson now on the floor with Justin Holiday, Reggie Jackson, and Christian Brown. Here comes Christian across the timeline. Brown brings it back out over the point, over to DJ, back over to Brown. Brown has it, right side now, it's Reggie Jackson. He goes to the left hand, jumper's on the way, that one's short, no good. Rebound down to Naz Reid. Reid gets the outlet pass off over to Anthony Edwards. Look for Edwards to start padding the stats here, especially in not late, but in the fourth quarter when his team's up by 30. 3-pointer Conley, jumper's good. Tip of the hat, though, Scott, to Minnesota. I mean, I know Denver's not making shots, but their only hope was to play suffocating defense.
Can we remind everybody at the 9:02 or 9:01 mark, Minnesota had to take a timeout in the first quarter. Denver up 9-2, and they went on a 20-0 run.
Another 3-pointer. Jaden McDaniels goes up and in. Denver down by 99-63. What do we got there? 36-point lead for Minnesota. Top of the key is Holiday, hands it back off over to Jackson. Jackson's inside the arc. He gets to the dotted line, kick out 3, Christian. That one's no good. Rebound down to Gobert. The only scary thing now, though, Scott, is that there's a touch foul on Christian Brown to get Julian Strawther into the game. It's okay to lose, but here's what I'm afraid of. I don't want Minnesota to start believing. You know what I mean? And right now they're believing, up by 36 points.
Yeah, but sometimes when games get so ridiculous, out of control, you can believe all you want. The one thing they really did was they handled out of the double teams. Denver didn't change anything they did in Game 3. And it almost, when they went on that large run, like, see you later. right? There was never any answer. I mean, it's tough.
We got a timeout on the floor. We're back in a moment here on the Altitude Radio Network. 26 points, just over 8 minutes left to go in the basketball game. Watson has it at the mid-post. Throws back behind him over to Julian Strawther. Strawther goes to the left hand, gets it off over to DJ, back over to Strawther. Back over to DJ. DJ hands it off to Jules. He turns the corner, gets down the lane in the corner. Head fake on the three by Reggie. Now a little teardrop won't go. Rebound down to Gobert. Outlet pass off over to McDaniels up the left sideline. Guarded by Peyton Watson. Throws it to Gobert. That's going to be a foul on Justin Holiday. Just going to reaching up and just giving them business. See Minnesota basketball inside. Jared McLaughlin going to come in, and that'll be it for Rudy Gobert. Here comes Luka Garza. That'll be it for Naz Reid. And here we go. Monte Morris, the former Nugget, will trigger it in here for Minnesota. He throws top of the key over to McLaughlin. He goes to the left hand. Back on top to Kyle Anderson. Anderson, head fake on DeAndre Jordan. Back behind him over to Alexander Walker. Left side McLaughlin. Down the corner back over to Tay. He gets in the paint, throws out of it. McLaughlin. Catch and go. High lofting jumper. Good right at the horn. Denver down 101 to 63.
The key is, can Denver get to 80 points, which is embarrassing in a playoff game?
I don't think they can, Scott. Here comes Justin Holiday. Finger roll layup won't go. Rebound comes down to Anderson.
This thing's over, so you don't expect a call.
Three-pointer, Alexander Walker. You know what? There's a sick part of me that if you're going to, I don't know if this is going to make any sense. If you're going to be bad, be bad.
Be monstrous.
And then you got to think about that for a minute.
Right.
Another timeout on the floor. We're back in 60 seconds on the Altitude Radio Network. Left side is Peyton Watson. Dribble handoff over to Strawther. Top of the key is Reggie. He gets a pick from DJ. Moves off of that. Takes a long two. Jumper won't go. Rebound Jordan. Put it back up. Blocked at the rim by Kyle Anderson.
He grabbed his arm. Mark Davis ducked his head and took off. He's not going to get a call.
It's got to be a career high in block shots for Kyle Anderson. One. Luka Garza three. Good.
Oh, they're just drilling Denver now.
107 to 63 is the score. Denver is down by 44 points. Good Lord. Hunter Tyson has it on the high right side. There's still time left. DJ loses it. Pass picked off by Monte Morris, fouled by DeAndre Jordan. Minnesota was a 2.5-point favorite before the game started tonight. They're up by 44. Monte Morris, Garza. Garza has it at the point. Dribble handoff behind him. Throws it off over. Is that Minot that's out there? Back over to Monte Morris and a three. Jumpers up and in. Oh, that's Wendell Moore Jr. on the floor now here for Minnesota. Here comes Reggie Jackson. Zeke Najee up and off the bench for the Nuggets. Reggie has it left side over to Peyton Watson. Catch and go to the nail. Jump shots on the way. That one misses. Rebound down to McLaughlin. If they hit a three, they're up 50. McLaughlin goes all the way through the lane. Throws it off over to Moore. Baseline jump shot won't go. Rebound down to Julian Strawther. Holy cow. Strawther coast to coast. Layup no good. He got fouled.
Oh, he got some free throws. And listen, hey, I'm with you. Getting beat, might as well put a record on this. There's got to be a playoff record for Denver in futility. I mean, they're shooting under 30%, under 22% from three. There is a silver lining. They're 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
And now what are they?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Strawther misses the first free throw. Jalen Pickett, Zeke Najee on the floor now for Denver. DeAndre Jordan comes out. Hey, people, you can't sugarcoat this, man. It's a beatdown.
Yep.
You got your butt whooped. That's all what happened here tonight in Minneapolis. Second free throw. No good again.
Oh, that's chicken sandwiches.
And they get the chicken. Let my people eat. Jared McLaughlin has it off over to Monte Morris. Now Garza. Garza's inside the arc, hands it off behind him over to Moore. Back on the right side to Monte. Entry pass Garza. Spin move. Can't shoot. Hit that over to Moore. Back over to Garza. Shot clock winding down. Luka, jumper, good. 5 minutes left to go in game number 6. Jalen Pickett has the basketball here for Denver. Dribble handoff over to Strother. Top of the key, Hunter Tyson. Tyson goes to his left hand. Back over to Najee. Najee's inside the arc. Hands it off behind him. Peyton Watson. Head fake on the 3. Gets down the lane. Leans in. Layup no good. He got fouled by Wendell Moore. Or, I'm sorry, that one was on Minot. I beg your pardon. And he'll go to the free throw line. Fouls on Josh Minot and Peyton Watson to the free throw line. What do you tell your team, Scott?
Bus leaves in 15 minutes. Let's go. I mean, seriously, you gotta wash this out. They'll watch film tomorrow. They'll fly in tonight, get in late, and then I mean, you gotta wash this and be honest. What'd you do good? Nothing. What'd you do bad? What adjustments did they make that you didn't counter? And listen, not much is going to match 29% shooting.
Garza hook shot. He gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? I mean, it's not like Chris Finch and Mike and Nori are some sort of basketball savant. Blocked at the rim by Kyle Anderson.
He grabbed his arm. Mark Davis ducked his head and took off.
19 to 68 is a score.
Well, you're 12 points away from 80. This has got to be an all-time low.
Bert's probably looking that up right now. Minot has it over to Garza for 3. Jumper short, no good. Rebound down to Peyton Watson. The only game I remember like this, except for Denver, was on the giving end. Remember when New Orleans. When I was doing road games and Schemmel was doing home games. Denver, I think, at one point had a 53-point lead against the Chris Paul-led Pelicans on the road. Remember that?
David West. They won by 40, I believe.
Yeah. Here comes McLaughlin the other way.
It was 36, so.
Garza has it down low to Minot. Layup blocked from behind by Pickett. Minot gets the rebound, loses it out of bounds. Last touch by Denver.
Now, not a lot to shine about. You're at 21% from 3, 7 of 33. You're 25 of 80 from overall. That's 31%. So, I mean, it's still a make-miss league. And if you're going to shoot that poorly, why not?
Here's Pickett for a 3. That one won't go. Rebound tapped around. Najee had it, lost it to McLaughlin. 2.5 left to go in game number 6. High right side is Wendell Moore Jr. in the corner to Minot for 3. That one's off the back, no good. Rebound down to Hunter Tyson.
Now, these guys are playing right now. Do you go to the starter and say, hey, thanks, guys?
Yeah.
I want to get some playoff minutes.
Inside the arc is Najee. You'd rather be up by 40 than down by 40 in that situation. Hunter Tyson 3. That jumper's off the back of the rim and no good. Rebound comes down to Minot.
Now at a flat 20%.
Less than 2 minutes to go in game number 6. Ball stripped and out of bounds. Last touch by Minnesota. That'll be Denver basketball coming back the other way.
Well, the Nuggets now are tied with Minnesota 3-3, and they're 0-2 with Mark Davis. So the good news is
you won't get Mark Davis.
You won't get Mark Davis on Sunday.
He had nothing
to do with it, other than your attitude.
Hunter Tyson has it. 9-foot floaters on the way. That one's no good. Rebound down to Garza.
This group's shooting it from 9, and it's going 10.
Outlet pass, Monte Morris from 13 feet. Jumper won't go. Rebound cleared by Peyton Watson. 90 seconds left to go in game number 6. Game 7 on Sunday, Scott.
Yeah, and I don't think the time has been announced.
I was going to ask you about that. Denver turns it over. Minot has it the other way. Layup won't go. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Minnesota. You'd think every once in a while we'd get an afternoon game, right? I mean,
well, if Dallas is able to win their game and not force a game 7 with Oklahoma City, then I think Denver will get a morning or an afternoon early game ABC.
Strother three-pointer won't go. Rims out, comes down to Minot, throws it length of the floor to Garza, gets fouled going up for the hoop. I don't want to screw up my Arsenal viewing time, but I like afternoon games every once in a while, especially on Sundays.
Well, if there is, this is what I was told. None of this is official. If there is 2 game 7s for Sunday, then Denver will have the late one. If there's only one, and we know there's going to be one for sure right now, then that will be a Sunday afternoon game on ABC. If there are 2, they'll have the second game, which will be on TNT that evening sometime.
Garza another free throw here as we play out the string in game number 6. Second free throw. That one's no good. Rebound down to Hunter Tyson. Outlet pass off over to Julian Strother. Less than a minute to go in game number 6. Nuggets are down 115-68. Scotty, they might not get to 70. Top of the key is Strother. Floater. No good. Rebound down to Minot. Minot has it across the timeline to McLaughlin. Left side down. He throws it off over to Monte Morris. Gets a pick from Garza. Back to McLaughlin. Back to Tay and a 3. Jumper rims out. Rebound down to Peyton Watson. 28 seconds left to go. Hands it off down low to Strother. Leans in. Layup good. Denver's at the 70-point mark. Nuggets are down by 45, 115-70.
45-point massacre, and that's exactly what this was.
Across the timeline is McLaughlin. Shot clock turned off. I want to thank my man Paul here.
We'll see you next year, will we?
Yeah, we'll see you next year. There's the horn in Minneapolis. Jordan Berg on the motherboard. Mark Bertinoli producing and hosting. Katie.
5 shooting, they miss their last 4 shots, and they need their offense to click. It's something Jim Peterson has been talking about all series long. Rudy Gobert touched on that after the Game 5 loss Tuesday night in Denver.
I really feel like our offense affected our defense again tonight. I think some of those turnovers gave them confidence, gave them life, and they got way too many fast break points.
The Timberwolves' offensive rating in Game 5 was a 107. That's right around where it's been these last 3 games. You look at the first 2 games, both Timberwolves wins in this series. They had a 116 offensive rating. Denver had a 98 offensive rating. That's much more like Timberwolves basketball. Last 3 games, Jim, a 106 offensive rating for the Wolves, a 124 offensive rating for Denver.
I mean, the net rating in this series for Minnesota is been -3.5. So, they've got to rectify that. They've got to have offensive efficiency, and this start was not what they were looking for. Already down 7 points here in the quarter.
And to Rudy's point, there is this tie-in between offense and defense. It all flows together,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So Mike Conley will bring it up here. No changes for the Timberwolves, no changes for Michael Malone and the Denver Nuggets, the defending NBA champions. Towns with it up top. He's hounded by Jokic. They dump it inside to Rudy. Got stripped from behind by Jamal Murray. The Wolves turned it over. It is their second turnover of the game. Nuggets will work in the half court here. On the perimeter, right side, Aaron Gordon has had a big series. He's averaged 17 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. Here's Jokic in the block. Spins on Towns, comes back baseline, tough, fall away. That's off the front rim, no. So Jokic comes up short. He's 2 of 4 shooting. That's low for him compared to what he's done the last couple of games. Here's Towns with it left side against Jamal Murray. They run a double at him. Aaron Gordon now switches onto him solo. Here's Jaden in the corner, guarded by Jokic, giving him the 3. He'll fire, and he'll hit! Jaden McDaniels rattles in a huge corner 3 for his own success.
Yeah.
Great to see the ball go through the hoop.
You mentioned it before, 5 of 23.
Oh, and the Wolves force a turnover from Jokic. Ant's got a breakaway. He's not missing that. 5 straight Minnesota points. It's 9-7, Denver by 2.
Little momentum here for Minnesota.
First turnover of the game on Denver. Here come the Nuggets up in the front court. Jokic initiates himself. Left side, Towns is on him. Jokic will just fire on a straightaway 3. It's offline. He hit 2 of 3 in Game 5, but for the series, he's been under 30% for deep. He's taken about 5 a game. Ant behind his back, Towns at the angle, tries to move on Murray. Gets into the paint, lobs it up to Rudy, who missed the touch shot. The rebound comes out to Carl, his floater, no good. Jokic had the rebound, lost it. McDaniels with it, driving layup is good. The Wolves on a 7-0 run, they've tied it at 9. 5 minutes played here in the opening quarter.
You need some luck in that play right there, game in Minnesota. A little bit of luck right there on that possession.
Here's Murray off the Jokic screen, pops on a 3. That's no good. Jamal Murray is 0 for 4 shooting. Here come the Timberwolves on the 7-0 burst. Towns thought about a 3, puts on the deck, drives in and slams it through with the right hand. It's a 9-0 Wolves run. They've got their second 2-point lead of the game.
9-0 run for Minnesota. Last 4 possessions for Denver. 0 for 3 and a turnover.
Murray up the center of the floor. He'll get a Porter Jr. screen. Now Jokic, well beyond the arc. Off a Gordon screen. That picks off Towns. Now against Rudy inside. He spins it up with the left hand. No. A whistle and a travel against Nikola Jokic. Boy, it's so loud in here. You could not hear that whistle, but James Williams made the call. That'll be turnover number 2 on Denver. 11-9 Minnesota is up. We approach the midway point of the opening quarter. And up the center of the floor with a quick burst on KCP. Right of the lane, stops. Now back to the basket. He'll pull it out beyond the arc. 12 on the shot clock. A bounce pass up top to Conley. Mike zips it off to McDaniels. Left alone. He'll take a dribble. He fumbled it. Now to Towns in the corner. 5 to shoot. Against Jamal Murray. Got stripped out of bounds. That will be Timberwolves basketball with 3.9 to shoot.
Jaden really needs to get a hold of that basketball. He had an opportunity to drive it too. He throws it to Carl in the corner, who is completely defended by Jamal Murray. He had a ton of room to the middle of the floor. Could have dribble drive right to the basket.
Conley will trigger in. Again, 3.9 to shoot. The Wolves on the 9-0 burst. Inbound McDaniels right back to Conley. He's got to force up a 3. It's blocked by Gordon, and Aaron Gordon pulls it out of the air. Gordon's been tremendous defensively the last 2 games specifically. Jokic down low on the block, left side against Gobert. 14 to shoot. Cat comes on the double kick out. It's MPJ up top to the elbow. He tried to dump it inside to Jokic. Rudy knocked it away. Ant's got it on the move, attacking down the lane to the rim. Layup, no. Slam follow for Rudy Gobert, but wave off that Gobert bucket. There was a foul on Ant's shot attempt. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 with the Wolves up by 2, and a timeout by Michael Malone. Oh, the energy is back in the building. And the fans on. And one thing the Wolves have been able to do so far here in the opening 6 minutes of this game is force turnovers. 3 Denver turnovers. They've got 2 points off of those, but Ant can make it 4 with 2 free throws coming up. And Jim, I showed you this stat during the timeout. The first 2 games of this series, the Wolves forced 16 turnovers a game, turned them into 19 points off of turnovers per game. But the last 3 games, Denver's only turned it over 12 times a game, and the Wolves have only gotten 13 points. That may not seem like huge discrepancy in those numbers. It makes a big difference, though.
It certainly does. And, it's really about building chemistry and momentum off of your defense, and that's how Minnesota plays. I mean, they are not a great offensive team. They've been a middle-of-the-pack offensive rating team all season long, much to our consternation. I mean, we would have liked to have seen this team be more efficient offensively, and for whatever reason, turnovers has been a bugaboo for them. They did take care of the basketball towards the end of the season, but it's been the thing for this team for 3 years, Alan. It's been the turnover percentage is Minnesota's made up for it in years past because they've been able to turn other teams over as well, but man, it just hurts your efficiency offensively when you keep turning the basketball over.
And the Wolves have not been a good offensive rebounding team either.
Right.
Bottom 10 in the league in that category, which is surprising with Rudy, Cat, and Naz and your length that you put together on this roster. And with the 2 free throws to make it an 11-0 run, it's 13-9. Jamal Murray has it against another Kentucky product. Towns pulls up with a mid-range jumper. That's offline, and Murray is 0 for 4 shooting, 0 of 1 from distance.
Anthony Edwards did a great job on Jamal Murray. We didn't talk about it much last ball game, but Ant put a lot of energy into it, and he got paid off big time.
13-9. Timberwolves by 4. They've got it from right to left in the classic edition jerseys. Conley rubs off a Rudy screen, now lobs it back in for Rudy. Actually, it's a shot, the rim, and rolls around and hangs on the edge. And then centrifugal force takes over and just draws it right through the iron.
Minnesota is scoring now tonight after getting stopped, something they didn't do last ball game.
Here's Gordon in the corner, thought about a 3, now to the angle of Jokic. He'll fire on a triple try off the back iron. It's not really his spot. Most of his success from the three-point line comes straight away.
Top of the floor, yeah.
He's missed 2 threes so far. Conley off the Gobert screen. Back to Rudy. He'll kick out. Ants open. Right side. Pump fakes the 3. Moves to his left. Extra pass Towns. Up top. Straightaway 3. Missed it long. Ant taps the rebound. Now Cat gets a hand to it. Conley's open. To Edwards in the corner. Catch and shoot 3. Bingo! They missed it initially, but the Wolves stuck with it. Ant, Cat, Mike the extra pass, Ant the bucket, 18-9. It's a 16-0 Timberwolves run. Gordon misses a right side 3. Timberwolves with a rebound. Up by 9 here. Ant jukes on KCP. Up top to Towns. He'll take a rumble into the lane. Lobs it for Rudy, who throws it down with 2 hands. The onslaught continues. 18-0. 4 to go in the opening quarter. Timberwolves up by 11. This is the Timberwolves' first double-digit lead since game 2. Jokic, wing right, working against Towns. Ant comes in the double, cross-court to MPJ, fakes the pass, launches the 3, missed it long. Towns with a rebound.
Great contest by Mike Conley. Kind of faking he was going to submarine Porter Jr. that time, made him miss.
Ant on the right side, working hard against KCP, gets to the mid-post, comes into the paint. Oh, swiping down is KCP, clear foul. Mark Davis saw it. And Ant's going to the free throw line for 2 shots with 3:34 left to go in the opening quarter. Denver has missed 7 consecutive shots. They're now 4 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 7 from deep. And the Wolves have gotten off to exactly the type of start they imagined.
Ants had more space than I kind of thought they'd give him early in this game, too. Minnesota's done a good job of really moving the basketball, utilizing Karl Anthony Towns, but having Mike on the floor has been huge. What they did last ballgame, Alan, a lot of times Nikhil brought the ball up the floor, got it across the timeline, and just basically handed it to Ant, and now we're kind of at a standstill. There's more flow to the offense right now.
And you mentioned something, floor balance. It feels like the Wolves have good floor balance right now. That's creating some of that space. Ant at the free throw line knocks down the first. He's got one more coming. That one's good.
Rebounding has been a huge factor in whether or not Minnesota has been playing well in these series as well. They dominated the glass in Phoenix and dominated the glass in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, now 14-5 here in game 6. 20-0 is the run for Minnesota. KCP to the elbow, now to Jokic. Free throw line jump on the way. Oh, Nikola Jokic ends the 20-0 run. I guess it had to end at some point. 22-11. Naz Reid into the game. Nikhil Alexander-Walker into the game. And with it on the right side against Jamal Murray. Low by, into the paint, up off the glass, high. Oh! That hit well above the white square on the backboard, almost the top of the backboard, hit the front rim and dropped in. And another turnover. Gordon turns it over. Naz hit ahead, Jade to the rim. Oh! Throws it down with the right hand. A 15-point Timberwolves lead. It's a 24-2 Timberwolves run, and Target Center is beside themselves. 26-11. It was just 6 minutes ago the Wolves trailed 9-2, but a 24-2 run, and the Wolves find themselves up by 15 points. Their largest lead Tuesday in Game 5, 4. Their largest lead in Game 4 here at Target Center on Sunday, 7. And on Friday night in Game 3, their largest lead was 2. 15 points, their largest lead since the second game of this series. What a start. Still a long way to go in this one.
No doubt. But you think about the last 12 possessions for Denver. I mean, 1 of 8 4 turnovers. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. And so Minnesota, when you think about last ball game in the second quarter, you and I were talking about this, about how when Minnesota was getting stops, they were turning it over too. They weren't taking advantage of all the times they got stops, and it could have built a lead for them. They are doing it right now.
Yep. The one thing we know about Denver, they don't lose their cool. They're led by Jokic. 3 times in the last 4 years has been named the MVP. He's been dominant these last 3 games. 24-2 over the last 5 minutes and 16 seconds. I mean, Jokic in the last 3 games is shooting 61%. He's cut the turnovers in half since the first 2 games. He's been a plus 54 in those 3 games after he was a minus 28 in the first 2 games. Denver's got it out of the timeout here from left to right. Murray's got it against Jaden McDaniels. Out by midcourt. Jokic the high screen. Murray on the move into the paint. Hop skips in, jumps it out to KCP. Left side, 6 to shoot. Jokic gets it back. Shot clock dwindling down. Murray up top. Top of the key, in the lane, spins, and his shot swatted away by McDaniels. What defense by Jaden. Ant controls up in the front court. A stop and pop three. Oh, yeah! 14 in the opening quarter for Anthony Edwards. Timberwolves 29, Nuggets 11. It's a 27-2 run.
Unbelievable.
Jokic up top, Christian Brown, now to Murray. Now in the corner, it's KCP. Got a good screen from Justin Holiday and KCP with 4 out of 5 from deep in Game 5. Knocks down a triple.
Minnesota scored on 12 of their last 13 possessions. I mean, talk about offensive efficiency. You were asking for it, Allen. You're getting it right here in the first quarter.
Here's Towns splitting a double inside. Up strong off glass. It swirls around. It drops in. Cat's got his second field goal. He's got 4. 7 for Jaden McDaniels. 14 for Edwards. 31-14, the Wolves lead by 17, and a foul by Tyler Ford at the elbow. Towns and Jokic. Didn't look like there was a whole lot in that, Jim.
Just hate the call. Karl Anthony Towns.
Just battling for position right
Exactly
there.
right. I mean,
of course, Jokic sells it just enough.
he makes it look like Towns dislodged him, but he was the one making the contact.
It's a bad call. Reggie Jackson to drive here. The left-handed layup high off the glass, no good. The rebound. Ooh, Towns was out of bounds, came back in, reestablished himself,
Unreal.
and then grabbed the rebound.
Yeah.
Tremendous play. And, step back three, right side off the front rim. No. Justin Holiday. The rebound is outlet is knocked away by Nas, but it comes right back to Holiday. Boy, the Wolves are just flying around defensively right now. Season on the line here in Game 6. This is the 19th meeting between these two teams in the last 2 years. Regular season and postseason combined. Jokic against Towns, bullies his way inside. Kick out, KCP, right side three, missed it long. Timberwolves have the rebound. Minnesota had made 6 straight shots before the Ant missed 3. Up by 17 with under a minute to go opening quarter. Ant with it up top, Holiday watches him. Between the legs, now Ant backs it out. 8 on the shot clock, bounce pass right side, Nas catch, shoot 3 on the way, missed it off to the right. The rebound comes down to Caldwell Pope. Here's Jokic front court, right side, Holiday's got a lane, drives in, shot blocked! Jaden McDaniels has his second block of the quarter. He pinned it against the glass. Nikhil left side 3, he missed that one. Christian Brown with a rebound. 30 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. 31-14, the Wolves lead by 17 here in Game 6. Brown inside Jokic, turns on Towns, scoops it up, missed the shot. Jokic couldn't secure the rebound. Naz Reid does. Wolves have it. Shot clock is dark. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Timberwolves shooting 48%, but Denver shooting just 27%.
2 of 14 in their last 14 shots. Unbelievable.
Ant with it, double, cross court. Jaden McDaniels with 1, back to Ant. Will he get a shot off? No. Boy, the end of quarter execution has not been great for Minnesota in this series. But what an opening frame. By far and away the best first quarter the Wolves have had in this series. They outscored Denver 29-5 over the final 8:09 of that opening quarter. They held the Nuggets to 14 first quarter points on 27% shooting and 2 of 9 from distance. Turned them over 4 times that the Wolves turned into 6 points. What an opening 12 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We've got 30 shooting to start the game. Couple of points, 3 assists. Murray will drive, he'll stop, and kick out at the last second to Christian Brown up top. Brown will spin on Nas Reid in the lane. Back to Gordon up top. Good look at the 3, and he buries it. Aaron Gordon's been special from beyond the arc. He's now 9 for 14 in the series. Actually, I didn't count one other one. So he's 9 of 15 in the series against from beyond the arc. KA with it up top. Watched by MPJ. Nikhil going to get inside to Rudy. Went up and got that with the right hand. He got shoved in the back by MPJ.
I was telling
kind of makes up for the touch foul at Towns at the other end.
That's true. I was telling you earlier today, I mean, it's been a lot of Rudy post-ups. And so, I mean, it may look like it's a roll to the rim, but Rudy's sealing after the roll, and they're trying to dump it down to him. It's not always been profitable. You don't always love seeing Rudy going to the free throw line either, because he's been so uneven. He's been, he's not been great from the free throw line in this series.
In the Phoenix series, he was 22 of 25 at the stripe. In the Denver series, he's been 9 of 18. Conley with it up top. The Wolves have missed 8 straight shots going back to the first quarter. Ant's back in the game. He spins on Brown. Tough. All the way at the elbow. The shot, no. A late whistle and a foul. I'm not even sure if that was on Ant's shot attempt. Yeah, it will go on Christian Brown. Yeah, he grabbed the arm of Ant, and it took one of the far-away officials to make that call. Mark Davis, James Williams, Tyler Ford.
mean, they called that foul on Christian Braun, but they could have given it to Aaron Gordon, too. He grabbed the other arm. They each had an arm that time on the spin move. I mean, Minnesota was -6 in the non-Ant minutes. So
very similar to game 4 here, where he was a +5, but in the 2.5 minutes that he sat, -13. Yep. Free throw's good. Ants up to 16 points. Wolves finally have some points. Still haven't hit a field goal in the second quarter.
Right.
Aaron Gordon, top of the key, works on Rudy Gobert and says, forget about it. Now he'll attack again in the lane. Drastic fall away from 15. That's well short. Rudy affects another one.
Finally got a rebound.
37-24, up by 13. Wolves offense from right to left. Nas on the move, steps through the lane, runs it up with the left hand. No, Nas, offensive rebound and the putback. I don't know that we've seen Nas go to a left-handed runner, but he crashed the glass and got his own miss. Aaron Gordon wing left, open for another three. Missed this one long. Timberwolves have the rebound. +8 on the glass here in the first half, 25-17, and one-on-one against Christian Braun. Right side, right into dribble to the baseline. He'll stop, get airborne, and kick it out to Nas up top. Left side, Kyle Anderson with it. Starts to back down Holiday, lobs it up top. Here's Nas in the move by Gordon. Layup, no, but a goaltend is called. 2 more for Nas Reed. He missed his first 4 shots. He's hit his last 2. Wolves back up by 17, a 6-0 Minnesota run. 7 minutes to go in the first half. And the Nuggets shooting under 30%, 29.4. They're just 3 of 16 from deep. Murray up into the front court. He's missed 6 of 7 shots here tonight. He runs it up right by Ant, hit the underside of the backboard. Boy, it looked like he had a pretty good open lane too. He's 1 of 8 shooting. Ant back the other way up the center of the floor. Angles to the right side, picked up by Christian Braun. Now Nas Reed in the post up against Jamal Murray. Wolves have feasted against Murray defensively in this series. Nas across the lane, goes with the left hand again and sinks it. 3 straight Nas Reed shots. 6th man of the year is at it again. Timberwolves by 19. They've matched their largest lead of the game. Timeout Denver, 6:30. The Wolves have outscored the Nuggets by 25 points. In the 4 minutes he sat, the Wolves are a -8. Now, Ant has played some minutes the last 2 games, Jim. He's played a combined 89 minutes and 35 seconds out of a possible 96 minutes. That's 93% of the minutes he's played. Now, numbers are always up in the postseason. Guys routinely play 40 minutes.
Sure.
That's a big load to carry for a guy who you're asking a lot of offensively and defensively. But I think if there's one guy up to the challenge, it's Anthony Edwards.
And you know, when you talk to Chris Finch about it, and he'll say, Ant's fine. He can't say Ant is fine fast enough when he's talking about all the minutes that he's playing in these games, because Ant wants it. Ant wants to match up against Jamal Murray. He doesn't have to guard Jamal Murray. He wants to guard Jamal Murray.
Out of the timeout with 6:30 left to play in the second quarter. It's the Wolves by 19, 43-24. They had a 19-point lead after the first bucket of the second quarter. Denver got it down to about 13. And the Wolves have pushed it back up here to 19 with 6:30 left.
You know, some of that plus minus with Anthony Edwards, Nas Reed and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, they went 0 for 5 in that stretch too. So, but they've certainly come alive here now. Nas is on fire.
Nas has 6 points off the bench. Wolves 10-0 advantage in bench points right now. Murray steps into a 3, got his legs into this one, but missed it long. Murray is 1 of 9 shooting, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. He has just 2 points. 43-24, the Wolves back in the offensive end where they're shooting 44%, 3 of 13 from deep. Here's Kyle Anderson to the corner. Here's Edwards against Jokic. Faked him out, freed himself with a 3 and buried it. Anthony Edwards, 3 of 5 from long range, 19 first half points. The Wolves are up by 22, their largest lead of the game.
Anta's that guy right now.
Murray with it up top. At the logo. Old Shep at the center of the floor on the classic edition court. Murray spins on Ant inside, switches to left hand, runs it up, and rolls off. He's 1 for 10 shooting here in the first half. Here's Ant up in the front court, right in the lane. Zips it underneath. Kyle out to Nas, up top, extra pass. Towns left side, 3 ball, no, missed it long. Kyle with an offensive rebound, and then threw it behind Jaden McDaniels. Out of bounds. Turnover, just the 3rd of the game on the Timberwolves. Nope, it's their 2nd.
Jaden is always looking to cut too, by the way. It's why they didn't complete that pass right there. Kyle trying to throw it to Jaden in the corner, but Jaden was making a cut to get out of the way of Kyle Anderson.
Reggie Jackson off to Michael Porter Jr. Poked away from behind by Kyle Anderson. The 5th turnover of the half for the Nuggets. Nas off to Kyle Anderson. He'll run it up down the lane off glass. Too strong. Tip. Follow that wooden shot for Cat. Cat's battling on the boards. He's got it. Put back. Yes, with the left hand. 5 to play in the first half. 13-0 Timberwolves run. They're doubling up the defending champs 48-24 here in the first half of Game 6. Left side. Reggie Jackson catch and shoot. The only other time was 20 years ago in a second-round series over the Sacramento Kings that the Timberwolves won on their home floor. This Game 7 would be in Denver Sunday. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but that would either be an afternoon game or a night game. It depends on the Knicks and Pacers. They will play Game 6 in Indiana. If the Knicks win, the Timberwolves would play an afternoon game on Sunday. If the Pacers win and force a Game 7, the Knicks-Pacers series would be afternoon, and the Wolves would be that evening in Denver. But the Wolves still have work to do. 12 minutes left to play. They've got a margin of 25 points to work with. 86-61. 24 for Edwards. He set the tone in the opening quarter. 14 of those came in the first 12 minutes. It's a series high for Jaden McDaniels, 21 points. 10 each for Towns and for Mike Conley. Wolves have shot it a little bit better, up to 46%, but their defense has been special tonight. They've held the Nuggets to 61 points on 33% shooting and 23% from deep. Here we go in the fourth. Murray and Jokic, they blow up a dribble handoff, and it goes right out of bounds. You do not see that very often from two guys that know each other so well.
You know, one of the things that Ant is doing is he's going under the screens. He's just getting through. He's not chasing over the top, which gives Jamal Murray so much of an advantage. Really doing a great job defensively as Nas gets fouled here. I think it was Nikola Jokic is the one that reached in that time. But do you know what I'm saying? Like Ant is doing a great job of getting through those handoffs and screens that Jokic is trying to play 2-minute game with Jamal Murray. And when you see other people on Jamal Murray, whether it's been Jaden or Nikhil, they're trying to chase him over the top. Ant's just getting through. And sometimes that's the best route to take, right? Is just to get through the screen and get back in front of him.
Naz Reid, his first free throw of the night. He's got 9 points and 9 rebounds.
I'm still looking at the turnovers for both of these teams. I mean, Denver has one more than they had just a possession ago, but Minnesota still with only 4 turnovers in the game.
0 in the third quarter.
3 points off of those turnovers for Denver.
14-3 advantage of points off of turnovers. 2 free throws good for Naz Reid. Wolves by 27. 30 seconds gone, fourth quarter. Jamal Murray works left to the lane, swings it back out to Jokic. Christian Brown with a catch at the right angle, drives in and thunder slams it home with the right hand. He cocked that thing back in front.
Well, they rotated to him that time, but he just attacked the closeout, had a clean look at the rim and threw it down.
And that speaks to what you were talking about earlier in terms of Jaden McDaniels making a quick, decisive move. And that was certainly that from Christian Brown.
First bench points, by the way, for Denver.
88-63. And pulls up on the left side, 3 and strokes it. He had missed his last 3 threes. He drains that one, and the Wolves are up by 28 with 10:57 left.
He has 27 in the game, but his points have been loud tonight.
27 points on 16 shot attempts. Jokic wing left, hand off to Murray. Murray fakes the pass, dribbles to the mid-post on Nikhil. Across the lane, stops, a little up and under, and almost got away with a travel. Here's Christian Brown up top, frees himself, fires a 3. That's short, the Wolves have the rebound. Terrific defense. First Nikhil, then Nas. Ant with it, drifts to the right side, beyond the arc against Reggie Jackson. Quick crossover, right between the legs. One-on-one against Reggie Jackson here, frees himself up, 15-footer off glass, no.
Ant loves using the glass from the angle. He almost knocked that one down.
It's a little further out than you want to see using the glass, but we understand. Here's MPJ rising up, he had a foot on the line. Tyler Ford had that as a 3. They would have reviewed that.
He did a stop short that time, trying to draw Nikhil into a foul situation right there.
Porter Jr. did not hit the shot, by the way. Timberwolves pulled down the rebound. Inside Rudy to the rim. The layup, yes, with the left hand. Rudy able to finish. 8 points, 12 rebounds. Rudy puts the Wolves up by 30. 9:52 left to play in the game, and the Wolves are up 93-63. Still 9:52 left, but Now the question is begged, when will Michael Malone pull the plug here in Game 6?
Right.
Timeout on the floor. We step aside on the Anthony Edwards Timberwolves Radio Network. Sending out DeAndre Jordan. He is sending out Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, Reggie Jackson, and Justin Holiday. So he's going to sit Jokic and Murray, and he may have decided to throw in the towel here with 9:52 left to play. Anthony Edwards right now a monster, plus 37 in 32 minutes of play.
It's just an unbelievable number.
And it is. It's a ridiculous number. The Wolves have been so relentless tonight. They just have not let up. At Superstats Dave tells us that the Denver's field goal percentage by quarter, 27% in the opening quarter, 36% in the second, 35 in the third, 33 in the fourth. I mean, you want to talk about putting your foot down and keeping it down and not letting them up for air, which is what the Nuggets did to the Wolves for the last 3 games.
Yeah, they woke up to who they were, when they won those 3 games, and Minnesota's now woken back up to who they were the first 2 games of this series. And this is going to be the 3rd time that they've held Denver under 100 points in this series. Every time they won those games, game 1 and 2, it was under 100 points for Denver.
And it'll be the 5th time in 10 meetings this season.
Right.
6 in the postseason, 4 in the regular season. Timberwolves grab a defensive rebound against a makeshift lineup here for Michael Malone. I mentioned DeAndre Jordan, Christian Brown, Reggie Jackson, Justin Holiday, and Peyton Watson. Mike Conley drains another one, his 3rd at 3 of the game. He's up to 13 points.
I mean, that's how you can a jump shot like that. Mike just let it fly, hit nothing but net.
Timberwolves now have their largest lead of the series, up by 33. A drive here by Reggie Jackson. He goes down. Rudy's a little slow in getting up. Cat sprints off the bench to help him. And back at the other end is Nikhil draining a 3.
It's been so funny to hear the pundits talk about this series, because once Minnesota got up 2-0, everybody was saying it was over. And then Denver kind of fought back in this series, and now they said Minnesota was done.
Yep.
And here we are, Minnesota up 99-63.
Missed 3 by Christian Brown. Rudy Gobert's got the rebound. When do Micah Nori and Chris Finch, they get a timeout right here? They may, up by 36 with 8:33 left, they've got to get Ant specifically out of the game, and I think everybody else. The crowd realizes that they come to their feet. They know the starters are coming out. 99-63. You want to talk about answering the call, answering the bell after 3 straight losses. The Wolves up by 36 points. We step aside for the final time on the Timberwolves Radio Network. The game on Sunday, you likely would want to leave Friday afternoon, but it might be Saturday. Maybe you leave in the morning, have all day, but it's a weird. It'll be a weird type of start time on Sunday for Game 7, just the 2nd in franchise history. Kyle Anderson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Monte Morris, Rudy Gobert still out there, so is Naz Reid. Here's Kyle, right at the top of the key, left side Monte, and he'll fire away on a 3, off the back iron, no. That finger is really bothering him. He's 0 for 12 in the postseason from deep. He just hasn't been able to get his shot going. It's really frustrating for him. Peyton Watson with it, kick out up top. Denver's got it. DeAndre Jordan flips it right back. Strother with it. Julian Strother, the rookie out of Gonzaga. He'll work into the paint, to the corner, up faking Reggie Jackson. The floater up for Reggie, short, and Rudy secures the rebound, his 14th of the game. Timberwolves bigs have been dominant on the glass, all of them in double-digit rebounds. Rudy fouled inside.
I mean, between Naz, Rudy, and Karl Anthony Towns, they've out-rebounded Denver by themselves. The 3 of them, 38 total rebounds for those 3 to 35 for Denver.
It's incredible. And Rudy will come out now. Rudy will get a huge hand. Luka Garza into the game. Good for Rudy. He took a lot of unnecessary heat from a guy who already has some, we know Draymond Green's feelings about Rudy Gobert, and he aired them on TNT after the Tuesday game, which was really...
You made a great point, too. You said that was an opportunity for Draymond to not only be a class act, but also teach people what it's like to guard Nikola Jokic, and all he did was take a shot at Rudy and then try to pump himself up.
Yeah, they show a bunch of highlights, and Jokic obviously scored on Rudy. He was 8 of 9 shooting against Gobert in the game, but it wasn't the only one. Jokic was 7 of 8 shooting against 4 other guys, and Draymond just ripped Rudy for being the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year and not slowing down Jokic, which nobody can do.
Right, nobody can.
And Draymond should know that, because Draymond's given up 50% shooting to Jokic over his last 8 meetings. And his last 3 games. Here's Nikhil, right side 3 is good. Boy, the Wolves in some kind of rhythm right now. 104-63. Timeout on the floor. 41-point lead. I'll go out on a limb and say that's probably the largest lead in playoff history for the Timberwolves. Up by 41 points. But yeah, I mean, Draymond, for him to pick on Rudy because of an existing deep-seated issue that he's got with him, instead of using his platform with hundreds of thousands of people watching and listening, and he does the cheap talk show type of thing where you're just going to rip somebody, instead of talking about how hard and how good Jokic is and how he does this to everybody, and Draymond saying, you know what, I can speak to this because I've been torched by him. He's got a right hand, he's got a left hand, his footwork, diagram it, go to the big board. There's so many things they could have done, and they chose, and I blame TNT too. They've got 50 to 100 people working on that show, really good producers who need to coach him up, because this can't be the way studio shows are going. If we're going to hold TNT's studio show to be the elite program that it is, and I realize Charles and maybe Shaq weren't there that night, but they've got to do better.
No, they were there. They were there. It was Kenny, Charles, Shaq. It was all of them. But so the problem is, though, is that Draymond Green is trying to prepare himself, because they've already signed him to be an analyst when he's done.
Yeah.
But he's trying to be irreverent. You know, he's trying to be funny like there. But Draymond Green is not a personality like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley is. Far from it. So I don't know. You made a great point. I agree with you. It was an opportunity to teach, and he didn't do it.
Yep. Out of the timeout, Denver's got it here. 104-63. 7 minutes still to play in this game. Reggie Jackson off a DeAndre Jordan screen. Wolves in 7 is the chant. I love how it just adjusts to whatever game the Wolves need to win to clinch a series. J-Mac brings the ball up the floor here for the Timberwolves. Monte Morris with a touch. Back out to Luka Garza. Big man's going to fire the 3. Oh, the crowd loves that. They love Luka.
You and I were talking today, going back and looking at Luka's game log. He stays ready, man. His three-point shooting percentage is just on point no matter if he plays or not.
Denver's got it. DeAndre Jordan fumbled it, lost it. Monte Morris has it, and then he got clobbered by big DeAndre. Jordan's now in his 16th year out of Texas A&M. 35 years of age.
You know what's funny is I was sitting next to a Houston Rockets scout when he worked out at Target Center back at the old practice facility, and that scout told me he wouldn't touch DeAndre Jordan with a 10-foot pole.
Really?
Boy, was he wrong.
Wow.
How about that?
Big part of Lob City with the LA Clippers, a second-round pick.
Been a great player.
Monte Morris will pull up for the 3. Right side, hits one.
Hey, Monte!
Monte finally gets one to drop. That is his first of the postseason.
22-0 run from Minnesota.
Wow. Here in the 4th quarter, Reggie Jackson went up top against Wendell Moore Jr. Out to Watson, who drives on Morris. Little shove off on the hip. That frees himself for a free throw line jumper. It rims off. And J-Mac's got the rebound. Driving J-Mac all the way through. Sets up Wendell Moore Jr. Good pump fake. Pull up mid-range jumper. Missed that one long. And the Nuggets have the rebound. 5:29 and counting left to play. Up the center of the floor, Julian Strother takes some contact, runs up the shot, no. Love the way the Wolves continue to defend right through the whistle there. It'll be free throws for the Denver Nuggets. How about the Wolves' runs tonight? First quarter, 20-0. Second quarter, they had a 13-0 run. Fourth quarter, 22-0.
We talked about runs before the game. You and I, it's one of the first things we talked about right before the game started was you asked me what my biggest keys are. Like, don't give away these big runs that Minnesota could never overcome. Well, they flipped the script on that. They've got 3 huge runs in this game, Alan. It's been a clinical. We got chicken time here.
It is chicken time. The first free throw is missed by Julian Strother. The crowd already went berserk for a Luka 3. We might up the ante here with a missed free throw.
Everybody might faint if he misses right now.
again! I'll take mine with mayo and some Texas Pete hot sauce and extra pickles. That's the way I roll. Timberwolves with possession. The 22-0 run continues. Monte Morris. Here's Luka Garza. Spins inside. Good pump fake. And ran into a host of defenders. Hit pick out to Wendell Moore Jr. Back to Luka. He'll bang away. Down the lane. Runs it up. Off glass and it drops in. Tough shot. And Luka gets it to fall. 24-0 is the run. It's 112-63.
49.
I mean, the Wolves aren't far away from
49.
doubling. I guess they're not close to doubling up. That would be aggressive. Denver with it. Watson wing left. Fakes right. Comes left on Minot. Gets to the cup. The layup no good. But a whistle and a foul. Denver will be shooting free throws here.
The question is how much damage does this do to the Denver Nuggets psyche? I mean, a complete dismantling of Minnesota. And I just got to believe, and I'm really hoping this is the case, that it carries over for Jaden McDaniels, because for me, the way that he came out in this game, he set the tone along with Anthony Edwards. Defensively, he was so good that the way he was thwarting, and he got Jamal Murray off to the bad start along with Anthony Edwards as well. They both had a hand in that, but you go back and look at the two blocks that Jaden had, Alan, they were emphatic and they were big, and they were
game-changing.
They were game-changing.
Or momentum-changing.
Yes.
Plays, yeah.
Part of the runs that they went on were due to the defense that Jaden played.
1 out of 2 at the free throw line. 112-64. Luka inside. The jump poke, no. It's blocked out of bounds by Watson, but contact, and Luka is going to shoot 2. So the margin right now is 48 points. Again, we need to be in Cleveland for the differential in between. The best point differential in a game when facing elimination in NBA playoff history. The Lakers beat the Hawks
by 58
points.
133-75. Wow.
That must have been a finals game, right? Or no, it's 1956. They're probably in the same.
Yeah.
Who knows where that was? Is that the Minneapolis Lakers in '56? Left side, seeing Najee into the paint. He'll get it off to Jalen Pickett, who hits the jumper. 114-66. We'll have to do some more research on the research. Yeah, 56. I think Lakers are in Minneapolis. I think the Hawks may have been in St. Louis.
It's the Western Division semifinal, game 2. So it was the Western Division semifinal.
So it must have been the St. Louis Hawks at that point.
Yeah. Yes. How about the Denver Nuggets are up 9-2 in this game? Talking about their biggest lead. They led 9-2. That's their biggest lead of 7 happened then.
Seeing Najee fouled in the right corner with 3:45 left to play. 114-66. All right, so game 6. The Wolves have put their foot down throughout this one. They have essentially clinched a spot on Sunday's game 7, which will fall exactly 20 years to the day of their last game 7. To the day. You can't make that stuff up. Game 7 here at Target Center. Wolves and Kings.
There's your Zeke Najee hoop right there that you were looking for.
114-68. I didn't want to see it. 3:20 left to play in the game. Minot spins at the free throw line. Back out to Luka. He'll fire away on a 3. It's offline. Watson almost had that rebound. Hit him right in the face when he reacted well. Almost lost it. Julian Strother with it. Tacks down the lane. Lobs it to the corner and fired it to Mike, the usher, who holds the ball high over his head. And Mike will take a moment to enjoy the applause. Gets a couple high fives.
It was a nice catch too, right to him.
You know, Mike's one of those guys. Yeah. You always take a certain path into the. You see the same people, and Mike's the guy I cross paths with 4 or 5 times a night. One of the nicest guys. Minot less than inside. It's out of bounds. It'll stay Timberwolves basketball. All right, so you hit on it. The big question now is the Wolves obviously take a huge amount of momentum in game 7. Do you also think there's relief that, hey, we had our backs against the wall, we answered, and now you're kind of playing with house money?
I think Minnesota's coming to win. That's the way Anthony Edwards is thinking about it. They are not taking this. I mean, obviously it's a step, and you had to take this step. But really, both of these two teams now have had their backs against the wall, and both have performed. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And you questioned whether or not Denver, what this game does to them. I mean, they are the defending champs. They've made deep runs, but they've got to be a little bit shook by the way they've come out tonight.
I would think so. Nikola Jokic is just standing over there in the corner, just judging the game right now. He just can't wait to get out of here. He is looking forward to getting back on that plane and getting back home.
Wendell Moore Jr. on the attack, lost it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be awarded to Denver. So 154 still to play in this game. It's 114-68. $46 points is the lead.
Question is, how do we get Mark Davis again on Sunday? Can we do that?
So the Wolves are going to go to 3-0 this postseason when Mark Davis is the crew chief. He was in one of the games against Phoenix.
Right.
I think it's impossible. I don't think he gets assigned again 2 straight games. Wendell Moore Jr. with a steal off to Josh Minot. And here come the Wolves up in the front court. Minot, the dribble down to the right block. He runs it up off the heel of the iron. Luka had the rebound, lost it out of bounds. It's Denver basketball. So the Wolves will not get to 58 points, which is what the Lakers beat the Hawks by in an elimination game at 56. But they could get the number 2 mark. That's currently the Mavericks against the Rockets back in 05. Faced elimination. They won by 40. And the Wolves currently lead by 46 points. Lob up ahead. Luka sealed off his defender well. Then he rises up, draws contact. He'll shoot 2. 1:02 left to play in Game 6. Well, the Wolves are going to get their first ever Game 6 win. They had been 0-4. 0-1 on the home floor. So their first ever Game 6 win, their first ever home Game 6 win. And they're going to improve to 6-11 when facing elimination. And they'll be 6-6 on their home floor.
How about that?
Game 7. There's only been one other series in the NBA playoffs this year that has gone 7 games so far. It's really been a lot of lopsided games.
Yeah,
but only the series that was destined for NBA TV, Cleveland and Orlando.
Yeah,
right. Like 4 of their games were on NBA TV.
One of the things
that went 7 games.
One of the things I tweeted out before the game started was there was an opportunity for greatness in these 2 games right now that Minnesota had left tonight, and then Game 7. There was a lot of greatness in this game tonight, Alan.
A lot of people stepped up and answered the bell. And you and I said it right off the bat. We just couldn't see the way this Timberwolves team had played all season long. 56 wins. It couldn't see it ending in 4 straight games in disappointment like that.
Too special of a group of people, from top to bottom, from front office all the way down to us as broadcasters. I mean, the whole thing has been special.
You know, I asked Chris Finch on the tip-off show if they did anything different to try to change the momentum, and they stuck with their game plan. They didn't change anything up. They remained confident in their group, and the group responded here tonight. Jordan McLaughlin is going to dribble it out in midcourt. A 45-point victory in Game 6 to save off elimination. And the Timberwolves are headed to Sunday for their second ever Game 7. Final score, Timberwolves 115.